Good evening, folks. Welcome back to the third round of the ECAC's Fall Rocket League. Tonight, the Bobcats are going to face off against West Virginia Tech, their Blue Rocket League team. We're going to take a moment here just to acknowledge our sponsors and contributors to the team. First up on the list is Stewarts Dake family. Their contributions to fund our esports program and our wonderful lab, so thank you guys for that. We'd like to thank our drink sponsors, Advance.gg. Use codes Bobcats Live for 20% off your next purchase. For more information on that, check it out in the description. We'd like to also acknowledge Paul Smith College Athletics, specifically our AD, Zach. Thank you, Zach. Lastly, we'd like to thank our coaches, Stephanie Taziski and assistant coach Ray Bars, for their contribution to the Paul Smith College Esports program. With all that being said, let's get into a little bit of what we're looking at here tonight. So tonight, Paul Smith College, current record 0 wins, 2 losses. DJ Nightfall is our captain. She's a Diamond 2. Her name is Lola. Jnovak, who is not in the lab tonight, he's usually our sub. Atol or Jack, who is Gold 3. Gergs 27, who is Luke, and he is a Diamond 2. We're going to be facing off against West Virginia University, Tech Blue. They are currently also 0-2, with a Silver 3, a Gold 1, a Plat 1, and another Gold 1. Also in the description is our current season stats. I was going to run through that before the game, but was not quite able to get in time. All right. So Bobcats looking for the first win of the season along with West Virginia. Ball's going to get played to Gergs. Lola's going to make a defensive play there. We're just going to push up on this midfield here. We're going to 50 with Casey there. Jacket 9's going to hold back just a little bit. Lola's going up for the push. Able to keep that in the corner, and they're going to bump their teammates there. Gerg's hanging a little bit farther back. Jack keeps that in the corner. Luke's going to stay back, take a little bit of a defensive play here. Lola's going to leave the ball for them. They're going to take a shot on the net. Luke's going to stop that dead in its tracks. Jack jumps for it. Is able to nail it across center. Algie misses. Going to come back to Lola here on the wall. She's going to try and clear it in the middle. Casey's right there on top of that. A miss from Casey J there, and a miss from Jack. It's rolling back towards our end. Luke going to try and make a play on the ball here. Not quite there. Lola's right there off the post. Not able to quite make it happen. Luke going for the backboard play. Not quite there. Jack tried to make a play on the wall there. Not quite panned out. Lola's going to clear that right back down to the corner. Luke's going to be her back up here. It's going to go straight up in the air after a 50 with Casey. Case is up in the air there. Luke's back on the defensive play. He taps it off the back wall. Nice jump right off recovery. Able to keep that ball out of the Bobcats net. Algie's going to look to clear. Luke's going to send it back down to their corner. Lola's right there on the ball. Not able to find it. It's all up to Brickenhall now. He makes a nice play, tapping it off the wall. Luke's right there. He's going to make a play off the wall here. Looks like he's going to try and go up for it. Not quite. Casey's going to be there. Lola's going to make a push on the ball. Not able to get a touch. Jack demoed, but Luke is there to save the day. Luke's going to try and make a touch off the wall here. Solar is on net. Not going to be able to fall. Lola right there with a follow-up shot. Also not going to be able to fall. Now it's up to Jack. Jack keeps it right in the corner. He's going to try and rotate this out front. Not quite. Solar Frog sends it back to the corner. Lola right there on top of it, ready to center here for Luke. It's up in the air. Casey gets a touch on it. Luke's going to have to back up a little bit here. Luke's going to try and stop that ball. Both of his teammates are in the net, not able to make a play on it. Lola's pushing up center here, not quite on top of it. Jack able to hit that ball down to their corner. Looks like Luke is going to try and make a little bit of a solo play here, not able to. So all three defenders seem to be sitting way back. Jack able to get a touch on that ball to roll it to their corner. It's going to fall right back to their hands. Luke's going to make a play up the wall here. Going to try and come down on it, not quite. Lola's right there. She fires and she scores. 2:10 remaining in the first game. Lola with an assist from Luke puts Bobcats up 1-0. Starting off here, a little bit of a double commit from West Virginia on the kickoff. Not common to see that. Lola's looking to get a ceiling shot off here. Not quite. Luke looking for the fire in. Not going to happen. It's going to take an awkward bounce off the corner. Jack's up for it. Not quite there. Luke's going to apply some pressure here. Keep that ball in the corner. Lola's starting to lurk a little bit here. Not quite looking for it yet. Now she goes for it. It's a good, smart play. She's going to stay on it, take another shot. Casey comes up with the save. Jack right there tries to score his first of the season. Not quite falling his way. Luke all over that ball. Not quite there. Bobcats are falling back into a more defensive approach. Jack attempts a clear and gets a very light touch on the ball. Lola trying to make something happen up the wall here. Not quite. Luke's going to take over for her. Solar is going to dump it off back to his teammate Casey. Luke attempted to make a play on that ball. Not quite going to go there. Lola's going to make the charge after Jack's hit. Not quite there. It's over both Bobcats and into the net. Bit of an awkward shot there. She popped it straight over Lola. Jack wasn't as far enough back as he would have liked to been there. Looks like Luke's going to be taking this kickoff here for the Bobcats. He's going to try and put it behind him, and it's just about there. Lola's there to send it all the way down. She can get a shot on. Not here, not there. Jack looking for his first of the season. Not quite there either. Luke's looking to keep that right in their end. Does just that. Lola's going to look for a play off the wall here. Straight back to Luke. Luke not able to get one on net. He's going to hit the back wall again. Almost cleared by Solar, but Casey's going to pick it up. Casey demoing Lola there. Curry's going to come in to stop that from going out front. He's going to make a play off the wall here. Casey's going to feed that back. Looking towards his own corner, but I think that's going to fall about halfway, yes. Lola looking for a play on the net. Not quite there. Luke taking his time. He's going to send it right out to center. Lola's going to be all over that one. Jack with a little bit of a pre-jump there is able to slow him up enough time for Lola to get back into position. Jack with the clear. And we're going to be going into overtime game 1. It's a bit of a 50 coming off the circle here. Luke's going to be right there to take that. Lola's going to have the ball stripped off her car. Jack with a big hit on their top player. Gives Luke some time to see if he can make something happen. They're going to leave that out there for Lola. Lola's going to hit the crossbar on that. Just barely, not enough. Jack with a nice hit. Off the post. Almost scores his first goal of the season. Luke, I think, playing some psychological warfare there, as Lola's going to clear that to the corner. Luke's going to follow up on the ball, get a weird little pinch back towards our end. Casey's going to take control of that right off the wall. He's going to flip. Luke's up there for the block. Luke's going to look to send this bit yard. It's going to feed Lola pretty well. Solar's all over that one. Lola with a nice touch there, one-on-one. Able to slip it past Casey. Bobcats are going to go up 1-0. So right off the beginning here, Bobcats are going to go up 1-0. With, I believe, 2 goals from Lola and an assist from Gergs. 4 saves from Luke and 1 for Jack. All right, we're going to go ahead and ready up here. Keep it moving along. So Bobcats going up 1-0 in the game. It's pretty nice to have that first win of the series. It's the best of 7 series, so having that first round win helps cut the nerves just a little bit. Game 1's not quite important as these middle pack games 3, 4, and 5. It's going to be played right back to Luke. Luke's going to attempt to get a flip reset. I think he landed that, but he just wasn't in the right spot for the ball. Jack's going to go up, apply some pressure here. It's going to come out to Lola, who's going to bang it off the corner. She's going to try and make that play herself. Not quite the angle on it. Luke and Jack on a little double commit there, but that's okay. Lola gets bumped. Casey keeps it in their corner. Lola looking to make a play out to Luke. Not quite there. Luke's going to make a play off this ball. I think he's going to try and set this one up for Lola. Or might be able to take it all by himself. He gets a little twisted up there. Lola trying to get that 50 to squeak out to Jack, who's out front. Not quite going to be there. Algie takes light possession of the ball here. Luke's going to be there to pound that back into their corner. Bobcats are going to fall back a little bit here. Set up a bit of a defensive game. Lowell's going to keep that in the corner. Luke and net, he's going to try and get this cleared out of their zone. Sets up a pretty nice opportunity for him to score there, and he does. Bobcats go up 1-0 in game 2. 3:38 left on the clock. Have to wonder. I'm hoping for a Jack goal here. I'd like to see him score his first this season. I think he's got a good opportunity here tonight as the Swiss Virginia seems to pinch it all the way down the field. Oh. Okay, we're missing a lot. And Algie is going to score that off of a couple of consecutive misses from the Bobcats. A weird little 50 to roll it right out to the front. And that's going to be all she wrote. Fall on board here with Gergs. It's going to drop straight to Lola, who's going to bomb it all the way down. Might be able to get a good touch here off the crossbar, not able to sink it under. Going to play the patient game here, Luke does. Centered for Jack, almost there. Casey's there for the clear. You're looking to Lola here for some defensive play, not quite able to get there. Luke's going to look to take his time with this ball, although I think he's going to be under pressure here in a second. Yes, he is. Jack's there trying to push it past Case, not quite able to make it. Lola's going to have possession coming over the wall. Case and Lola neck and neck. Good 50 from Lola there, but it's going to roll out to center. Jack going to look to keep this in the corner, and he does. Going to look to try and get it out front to his teammate, not quite there. Lola coming up to hit that one, not quite there either. Gergs up in the air for the save, gets that tucked into the corner. Lola's going to take this right up the sidewall. Lola gets 2 demos off of that play. Bobcats are not able to capitalize just yet. Lola's right out front, and she scores with the assist from Jack. It was a pretty big pass there from Jack. Lola's going to take this play off the wall here after a little bit of miscommunication from the Bobcats. Luke going to take his time here. No pressure on the Bobcats, really. Just got to keep it out of their net for 1 minute and 43 seconds. Luke with a pre-jump in play there, not quite able to make it. Jack with the clear. Jack staying on top of it, not quite able to make it there. Luke's going to try and make a play off the back wall, prevent this from coming out. Lola coming up to keep this on their side of the field, not quite there. Jack's going up for it. Good hit from him. With a 50 from Lola, that's going to leave Luke one-on-one with the goalie, not quite able to get it past him. Jack taking a shot here off the corner. Looking for his teammates, but nobody's quite there. Lola there now, going to try and make a play off the back wall, almost does. Luke pounds it back to their corner. This timed awkward shot from Luke. Sends the Bobcats into retreat as they send them back into their own zone. It's out front, but nobody's there. Lowe's going to try and keep that in the corner, not quite there. Jack with a nice shot on net. Solar with the save. Lola tried to put that one on net, not quite there either. Light touch from Case there, almost falls in. Lola has the answer. Lola keeping that in their end, not quite there. Jack looking for his first goal, not quite there either. Luke's gonna look to take that yard. Might be able to put one more in, and he does. He'll pad the stats on that one. Bobcats go up 3-1 and will take game 2 in this 7-game series. Sitting with a decently comfortable lead of 2. See if they can look to keep this momentum alive to bang in their first win of the season. All right. I'm going to go ahead and keep it rolling here right on into game 3. Luke's going to take this kick off. Going to be able to push it straight past. Trying to leave it for his teammates, but Lola's got no boost to go up and contest. Jack attempted to push up, but got bullied by the other team. Lola with a huge shot right back into the net. She's going to take that one with an assist from Luke. It's a good shot from Lola right there. Lola's going to try and make a play off the wall here, not quite there. Able to get one to miss, but not Solar. Luke's going to take this up the wall, try and clear it off their half. Casey's going to keep it in. Looks like Lola's going to try and make a defensive play off the back wall here, not quite there. As Solar comes in and demos Jack. Luke's going to try and make a play off the ceiling here, but Casey is right there to answer. Casey with the flick, high roller. Again, they try to take out Jack. They do not like our goalie. Lola with a nice powerful shot, but Casey's right there to cover that one up. Jack almost able to push that past everybody. Luke gonna back up a little bit here. Got a better touch on it. I like that. He's gonna looked like he's gonna go up the wall, but not quite. He's gonna handle this on his own. He's gonna get sent backwards. Casey gonna clear off a Lola's touch. Gonna hit the back wall. Luke's gonna bounce that out. Kind of awkward for the other team. Worked out pretty well. Jack's gonna look to center that. Casey's gonna be there to clear it. Luke all over that one, not quite there. Lola's gonna return back up the middle. She's gonna tap it with a nice touch. And Luke's gonna be sitting there waiting. Jack with his first goal of the season. Although it's not credited, Lola should get the assist on that. Jack with his first goal of the season just taps it right past. We are up 2-0 now, game 3, 3:08 remaining. Jack kind of floats it out to the center there. Case is going to send it to his corner. Lola waiting on the wall for a touch. It's just not quite there. Luke is able to keep that on their side. As Lola's going to come up, try to take a shot. Casey's going to be there. Jack looking to keep this in their zone. Not quite there. Lola's going to turn, make a play on this ball. Able to get past one, but not past Case. Solar's going to lob that to the corner. They're going to play it back to Algie. Algie throws up a shot on net, but Lola's there to send it right back to Solar. Solar tries to take another shot. It's going to bounce kind of awkwardly off the top, fall in. Luke gets the clear. Lola playing kind of passive. They got plenty of clock to burn and a decent lead. I'd be doing the same. Luke's going to look to keep this in their corner. Try to take a shot at it. Casey's right there to jump on top of it. Casey's looking to clear. Jack keeps it in their half. Casey puts an awkward bouncer shot on net. Might be a potential goal, and that is for Jack. Bit of an awkward bounce off of Casey after Jack looked to play it. And just keep it in their end. Bit of a misread from Casey there, and it flies straight back into their own goal. Lola's going to get this kick off here. She's going to send it straight into their zone. Solar's going to have to take possession of that. Luke all over that clear. Tries to fake out the defense, not quite there. Lola's got control on the wall. Case sends it across. This Case comes through and demos Luke. And now Luke and Lola are in the corner. Luke's going to take the mid boost, but lose possession of the ball. Lola looking to keep that just barely on the wall, not able to get that touch off. Luke's going to play this to our corner, try and get the clear out. Nice fake out right there. Tries to get the clear. Case sends it to the other corner. Case and Lola. Lola's trying to be patient, wait on him. Not quite there. Jack jumps at it. Solar is able to keep that out front. Lola with the clear over center. Luke's going to look to send this to the corner, and he does. He's going to apply some light pressure to Case here. Tried to demo him there. Luke is able to get the demo off. By the time the Bobcats turn around and play this, Case is already up in the air. Jack is currently in net. Luke up in the air for that clear. He's going to look to give some pressure here, not quite there. Jack able to cross field it, but not get it over half. Luke is finally able to get it over into their own half. Luke with the play off the back wall. Lola going to try to get that there, not quite there. Jack keeps it. And the Bobcats are going to go up 3-1 in the series after a 3-0 win. Bobcats up 3-0 in the series against West Virginia University Tech. I think we have a good opportunity for our first win of the season. First goals for Jack. Looking pretty solid. Apparently we're experiencing some technical difficulties. Okay. So, while we wait for these server issues to be resolved, all right. We should be joining again here soon. Yep, there we go. So Bobcats are up. All right, still experiencing some technical difficulties. Sorry, folks. Things are not always smooth here. All right. This looks better. Okay. So Bobcats currently up 3-0 in the series. Going into game 4, they win this, they take the night. Luke's going to back off here as Lola's going to take that kickoff. Luke's going to look to kind of keep it in their zone. Might have a shot on the net, just barely off the corner post. Lola coming in with a touch, going to go off the backboard. Luke back to play that ball, a soft touch to the middle. Lola bumping Solar. DJ going to look to play this here. Big touch from Luke right there to keep that in their zone. Not quite there against Case. Gonna look to play off the back wall here as Lola takes the other team's 100 pad. Gonna keep them as low as possible on boost. Luke not able to keep that play in the corner, just barely missed from Jack there. Was gonna look to try and kick that out, not able to. Luke's gonna come up, try and make a play on Case here. Case gives him a little bit of a fake back. Jack's able to keep that in their end. Lola gets a favorable bounce, but Case is up to block that one. Luke's gonna look to center, back out to Lola, who's gonna have a one-on-one opportunity here if Case touches this correctly. Yep, and he does. He's gonna clear that to the corner. Luke's gonna be able to keep, try and get the touch there, not quite there. Case is still there. Jack looking to apply some pressure to Case, just barely gets it past him. Algae and Solar pinch it right off their back wall. Luke looking for a shot on net. It's a slow roller straight towards Case. Lola taking control here. Luke calls for it. Tries to take over, not able to push it through. Lola should have a center into herself. Jack not able to get there. Lola's gonna, Luke's gonna keep that in the corner. Luke trying to find any way to kick that out to the center, not able to. Jack's gonna have to back way up here, but Luke's on top of that ball. Lola gonna apply some pressure to Case here. He's gonna have to make a touch, 2 touches, try to get past Luke. Luke's gonna keep it to our corner. Gonna try to look to go the full way of the field here. Case gets a touch that messes up Solar. Luke off the corner. Case right there. Luke still gonna have control of this ball. Solar all over him. Lola comes in, tries to keep it in their corner, and does. It's gonna be a high bounce off the ceiling. Jack's not able to get up there. Luke right there for the save. Plays to the corner. Case is gonna try and field it out front again. Luke with a good clear. Jack able to follow that one up, try to get it all the way to their corner, and he does. That bump up in Lola's favor, sort of, and she's able to just tap it right past Algae. 1-0 Bobcats, 1:40 to go. Game 4, we're up by 3. If the Bobcats pull out a win in this game, they're going to take home their first win of the season. Luke looking to pitch that to the back right where Lola is. Lola is able to pick that up, carry it most of the distance. Solar going to knock that to their corner, almost right back up into Lola. Luke waiting patiently. Algae's going to play that straight out to Jack. Jack going to hammer it just above the net. They're going to demo Luke. Lola got a demo somewhere. Didn't see that coming. Lola's got control of the ball now over the wall. Luke going to step on play, make a play on Solar. 50, straight back towards their net. Case not able to touch that ball, throws Lola off just a little bit. Jack's able to keep it in their end. Casey tried to make a shot on net, not quite there. Lola's going to have ball possession rolling over half field. Algie jumps a little early there. Case with a floating center, none of the Bobcats able to capitalize on that opportunity. Luke tried to make a little solo play there, wasn't able to do it. Lola, light tap, she scores again. So with the setup from Luke and the awkward positioning of Case, Lowell's able to tap in the second goal. 28 seconds remaining, game 4. Bobcats look to close out this series 4-0 and a sweep. Luke gets a demo. Lowell's going to back up. Gergs is going to be there to defend. 9 seconds away. Case is going to take control of this. Not in time. Luke's going to demo him. Luke's going to play that on the ground. And the Paul Smith Bobcats have won their first series in ECAC. It's a clean 4-0 sweep on a West Virginia University Tech, moving your Bobcats to 1-2, and West Virginia down to an 0-3 record. I think it's safe to say our MVP of the night is going to have to be our captain, Lola, for goals and assists and just across the board. Great play. Saw a very good uptick in teamwork tonight, which was what the Bobcats needed. Hopefully this will be what they need to turn this season back into the right direction. Hopefully we'll be looking at a playoff run. With that being said, thank you all for joining us tonight. That is going